Native American elder breaks down why people are losing their inner peace. I want to tell you something that most people will never admit to themselves. You wake up in the morning, and before your feet even touch the ground, something inside you is already running, already chasing, already anxious. You don't even know what you're chasing, but you run anyway. I have lived many years on this earth. I have sat by rivers that have been flowing long before any of us were born. I have watched the sun rise over mountains that do not hurry. I have listened to the wind move through trees that do not worry about tomorrow. And in all those years, I have never seen a generation so busy and so empty at the same time. That is what I want to talk to you about today. Not about productivity, not about success. I want to talk about the one thing that most people have lost without even realizing it was gone: inner peace. Not the kind you find in a weekend retreat. Not the kind you buy with a meditation app. I mean the real kind, the deep kind, the kind my grandfather carried in his chest even on the hardest days of his life. That kind of peace is disappearing, and I believe I know why. The first thing I want you to understand is this: your ancestors did not live without struggle. Do not make that mistake. They faced hunger, they faced loss, they faced cold winters and dry summers. Life was not easy for them, but they had something you have lost. They knew who they were. When a man knows who he is, truly knows, the storms of the world cannot shake him to his roots. He bends. Yes, every strong tree bends in the wind, but he does not break. He does not drift, because his roots go deep. Today, people do not have roots. They have Wi-Fi connections. They know everything about the world happening 10,000 miles away. They know what a stranger ate for breakfast. They know which celebrity said what foolish thing last night. But ask them, who are you? What do you believe? What would you die protecting? And they go silent. They look at their phone. They change the subject. You cannot have inner peace when you do not know who you are. A man who does not know himself is like a boat without an anchor. Every wave moves him. Every current pulls him somewhere new. And he is always, always tired. I remember sitting with my grandfather when I was just a boy. I was maybe 8 years old. I had been crying. I do not even remember why. The way children cry over things that feel enormous in the moment. He did not tell me to stop crying. He did not tell me everything was going to be fine. He sat beside me and said nothing for a long time. Then he said, "Grandson, the river does not fight the rocks. It moves around them. It is still a river. It is still going where it needs to go." I did not understand it fully then, but I never forgot those words. And as I grew older, I began to see what he meant. Peace is not the absence of obstacles. Peace is not the absence of pain. Peace is the knowledge that you will move through it, that you are still a river, that the rocks do not define you, that you will reach the ocean. But people today are not trying to be rivers. They are trying to remove every rock. They are fighting with life itself. And that fight, that constant, exhausting fight against the natural difficulty of living, that is what is stealing your peace. Let me tell you about something else I have noticed. People today do not sit with themselves anymore. There is always noise, music in the ears, a screen in the hand, a voice in the background. Every quiet moment is immediately filled with something, anything, as long as it is not silence. Do you know why? Because in the silence, they would have to meet themselves, and they are afraid of who they might find there. My people always understood the power of silence. We did not fear it. We sought it out. We sat in it the way you sit in the sun, to be warmed by it, to be healed by it. Silence is not empty. That is the misunderstanding. Silence is full. It is full of truth. It is full of answers to questions you have been too busy to ask. When was the last time you sat, truly sat, with no phone, no music, no television, just you and the quiet world around you? Most people cannot do it for 5 minutes without reaching for something to fill the void. And I say to you, that void you are running from is not a void at all. It is the doorway to yourself. It is where your inner peace lives, and you keep walking past it every single day. Now I want to speak about something that cuts even deeper. You have been taught to want the wrong things. Since you were young, the world has been telling you a story. Work hard, earn money, buy things, be admired, be successful, and then you will be happy. Then you will be at peace. So you believed it. Of course you believed it. Everyone around you believed it too, and so you worked. You sacrificed. You gave up your mornings and your evenings and your weekends. You gave up time with your children, time with your parents, time with yourself. You gave up all of it for the promise. And then one day you looked around, You had the things, or some of them, maybe not all of them. Maybe you were still chasing them, but even the ones who got everything they chased, even they felt it. The emptiness that does not go away, the peace that never arrived, because peace was never waiting at the end of that road. The people who built that road never intended for it to lead to peace. They needed you to keep walking, to keep buying, to keep wanting. My grandfather had very little by the standards of this world, but I never once saw a man more at peace. He woke with the sun, he worked with his hands, he sat with his family, he spoke truthfully, he laughed easily. He had not been convinced to want things he did not need, and so he was never chasing something that was always just out of reach. That is the trap. And most people are so deep inside it, they cannot even see the walls. There is another reason people are losing their peace. And this one I feel is perhaps the most dangerous. People have stopped trusting each other. I do not mean trusting a stranger on the street. I mean the deeper trust. The trust between a husband and wife, between a father and son, between neighbors, between friends. That trust is breaking. And without it, people feel alone even when they are surrounded by others. They feel unseen even when everyone is watching. They feel unheard even when they speak constantly. Human beings were not built for loneliness. We were built for community, for fire circles where people sat together and shared their stories, for hands that helped carry heavy loads, for eyes that saw you, truly saw you, and said, I am here. You are not alone. When my people suffered, they did not suffer alone. When one family had nothing, the whole community felt it. When one person carried grief, many hands came to help carry it. Today, a man can live next to someone for 10 years and never know his neighbor's name. And then we wonder why everyone is anxious, why everyone feels lost, why inner peace seems like something that belongs to other people. You were not meant to do this alone. None of us were. I want to pause here and speak directly to you. Not to everyone watching, to you. I see you. I do not know your face. I do not know your name, but I know something about what lives inside you because I have lived long enough to recognize it. You are tired, not just in your body, in your soul. You are tired of pretending everything is fine, tired of performing for a world that rarely asks how you truly are, tired of running without knowing where you are running to. And somewhere underneath all that tiredness, there is a part of you that remembers peace. Maybe from when you were a child, maybe from one quiet morning you cannot fully explain, maybe from a moment in nature when, just for a few seconds, everything went still. That part of you has not gone away. It is waiting. Peace is not something you have to build from nothing. It is something you have to return to. It was always inside you. The world just taught you to look for it everywhere else. Now let me tell you what I believe the path back looks like. Not because I have all the answers, but because I have walked long enough to see what works and what does not. The first step is to stop running, not from your responsibilities, not from the people who depend on you, but from yourself. Stop filling every quiet moment with noise. Let yourself be uncomfortable in the silence. Sit with it. Stay with it. It will not kill you. And slowly, slowly, it will begin to speak to you. The second step is to return to small things. The world sells you big dreams, big houses, big numbers, big ambitions, and those things are not evil, but they have made people blind to the small things where real life actually lives. The way the morning light falls across your floor, the sound of someone you love breathing in the next room, the smell of rain on dry earth, a meal shared without the distraction of a screen. These small things are not small. They are everything. They are where the peace hides, and most people walk past them every single day in search of something larger. The third step is to know your values and live by them. Not the values the world gave you, not the values of advertisements or social media or what your neighbors think of you, your own values. What matters to you when everything else is stripped away? A man who lives according to his own honest values does not need the world's approval to feel at peace. He goes to sleep knowing who he is. He wakes up knowing what he stands for. That is armor against the chaos of the world. Nothing else provides that armor. And the final step, do not walk this life alone. Find your people, even if it is just one or two. People who know your real face, not the face you show the world. People you can sit with in silence and feel no need to perform. That kind of connection is rare today, which means you have to protect it, nurture it, choose it over and over again, because peace that is shared is peace that grows. Before I leave you today, I want to tell you one more thing. The world is loud. It will always be loud. It will not quiet down to let you think. It will not slow down to let you breathe. It will keep moving, keep demanding, keep taking. That will not change. What can change is you. You can choose every single day to come back to yourself, to remember who you are beneath all the noise, to protect the quiet place inside you that the world cannot touch if you do not let it. That is where your peace lives. It always has. It is waiting for you to come home to it. I am grateful you sat with me today. I hope these words found something real inside you. Share them with someone who needs to hear them. And if there is a quiet moment waiting for you somewhere, do not run from it. Walk toward it. That is where you will find what you have been looking for.